You may have already known about Google Drive's tools like Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides. Today, I will show you one of the most useful tools that you can use not just only in assessing students' learning, but of course in conducting an online survey. Good day everyone! How's your research study? Are you ready to conduct survey online? Or are you still looking for a tool that you can use in conducting an online survey? Don't worry, because today, you'll be learning how to use Google Forms as a data gathering tool. Let's learn more about Google Forms with Miss Man. Keep on watching and don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. The first thing to do is to make sure that you are already connected to internet. And then, check if you are already signed in to your Google account. Here, if you see your profile picture in this corner, it means that you are already signed into your Google account. Okay? And just click Google Apps and then check if there is Google Forms here. But if none, you can just click Drive. And then there you have it, your Google Drive. Just click New. There's Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, and of course, Google Forms. This is a powerful tool that we can use in assessing the students and of course, in gathering responses from your respondents. Let's click Google Forms and this one will automatically direct us to Untitled Form. Here is our Untitled Form. Before we start typing our questions in this form, let us know what Google Form is. Google Form is a full included tool that comes free with your Google account. You can customize your form by simply changing the photo or color themes. This tool is used to make survey questionnaires online in order to gather and organize information as well as responses from your respondents. Now, let us take a closer look with the features and icons found in this Google Form. First is Customized Theme. Here you can put or change pictures and background color of your form. Okay, let's look at it. So as you can see, there is a choose an image option. This is for the header of your form. Kung makikita nyo, marami kayong pagpipilian. Work and school, illustrations, birthday, food and dining, party, just kids, wedding, night out, sports and game. You can also upload photos if you want to. You can also select photos that were found in your account. It's up to you if you are going to put header in your forms. Next is the theme color. You can change the theme color if you want to, as well as the background color. And the next is the font style. For the font style, you have basic, decorative, formal, and playful. But I suggest that you must choose basic or formal. Because if you are going to choose decorative, there might be a tendency that your respondents cannot read your questions. Next icon or next feature is the preview. This is to let you see what your respondents can see. It's just previewing an exactly same thing that your respondents can see. So the third one is the setting. Upon clicking the setting, you may see general, presentation, and quizzes. So we will have a further discussion of it later on. And now let us see what these icons and features mean. We have the plus sign here, which is used to add questions. And then for the next one is to import questions. This is for importing questions from your previously created survey form. Kung meron na kayong na-create before, pwede nyo na lang i-import at ilagay dito sa bago ninyong form. Then the next one is for adding title and description. You can also add images and videos if you want to, but only YouTube videos are supported by Google Forms. And then this one, the last feature in this side is the adding section. Adding section is just like adding a new page to your form. It will also break a very lengthy form. It allows your respondents to click next for them to move with the next question. If your respondent sees a very lengthy form, they might get bored in answering your questionnaire, right? So they might say, ay, ang haba naman ito, nakakatamad basahin. So I suggest that you must create several sections in your Google Forms. So now, let's begin typing our title in this part, the untitled form. Dito natin ilalagay yung ating research title, as well as the description. May description box dito. For untitled form, again, this is where you are going to type or encode your research titles. And in description box, just a brief letter to your respondent, because these are the things that will appear in front of your form. Ito yung pinakaunang makikita ng mga respondents ninyo, so mahalaga na ilagay natin yung title natin as well as a brief letter to your respondents. Okay, let's just say my title is Literary Appreciation among grade 10 students of St. Adelaide School, Philippines. This is my research title, and then for description, I will put just a short letter to my respondents just to inform them kung bakit nga ba ako nagkakandak ng survey or ano itong isinesend kong form sa kanila. So since I've made a survey questionnaire online before here in Google Form, ikakopy ko na lang yung aking previously created na letter sa mga respondents. Or you can just click the import button. So ayan. Hi everyone! We the researchers are conducting small research project for the class of Practical Research 3. We are hoping that you can help us by completing this very brief questionnaire. Your responses are anonymous and will not be identified with you anyway. Ayan, so ito yung aking letter sa aking respondent just to let them know kung bakit nga ba ako nagkakandak ng survey or kung para saan itong link or form na ipinapasa ko sa kanila. So now we are done with our title and description or our brief letter to our respondents. Next thing to do is to add question by clicking the plus sign here. Now, knowing your respondents is important in conducting survey online. Let us know our respondents in terms of their name, age, and gender, and other demographics that you found important or significant in your research study, like their races, nationality, religion, and so on. So in this part, since we are just going to ask for their name, ilalagay lang natin dito ang name. Ayan. So as you can see, nag-automatic siya na naging short answer. Dito tayo pipili ng magiging type ng ating question. Pwedeng short answer, paragraph, kapag sa mga essay, multiple choice, check boxes, drop down, file upload, linear, scale, multiple choice, grade, tick box, grade, date, and time. So since ang name lang naman is just a short answer, i-click ko na yung short answer. Ayan. And then, just make it required or optional. Pwedeng required, pwedeng optional. So, I suggest na since kayo ay nagkakandak ng survey online, gawin na lang natin siyang optional. This is to hide the identity of our respondents. Let's just make it confidential. So, when you click required, ibig sabihin, they cannot proceed with the next question if they did not type their name. So, next is add question ulit for the next demographic or for the demographic of our respondents. Next is their age. So, ang gagamitin ko na dito is check boxes. It's either check boxes or multiple choice. Ayan. Check box na lang ang aking gagamitin. And then dito ay magpe-present ako ng age bracket. So, I will present age bracket in which my respondents can choose from. Since ang respondents ko ay grade 10, I assume that their ages range from 15 or 14 to 15, 16 to 17, and then 18 above. So, ilalagay ko lang dito sa option 1, 14 to 15. 14 to 15 years old. and then add another option for my option 2. 16 to 17 years old. And then add another option again for 18 above. And then X lang natin or i-remove lang natin itong other. Ayan. So, meron na tayo ditong age. We made it required because this thing is also an important factor na kailangan nating malaman. I-interpret natin siya by using graph to show results. The next is adding question again. Another demographic na pwede nating ilagay is their gender. And then as you can see, may suggestions na dito. May add all button in which you can easily click it. Merong female, male, and then prefer not to say. I-remove na lang natin yung prefer not to say. Ayan. And then, check boxes again. Or multiple choice kung gusto nyo. And then make it required again. Okay, so kunwari tapos na tayo sa ating first section or profiling ng ating respondents. The next thing to do is to add another section. Sabi ko kanina, adding a new section is just adding a new page to your form. Meaning, i-click nila yung next button para mag-move sila or mag-proceed sila sa next page ng inyong form. Okay, so since I'm dealing with literary appreciation, I want to know what themes my respondents can relate to the most. So, ang ilalagay ko dito ay yung second part ng aking questionnaire, which is asking for the theme that they can relate to the most. Example, or ilagay muna natin yung title or yung question. Themes that the respondents can relate to the most, and then just a short description or instruction kung paano nila sasagutan itong question na ito. Example ito, below is a list of themes that you can relate to the most. Respond to each item by putting check mark. Ayan, by putting check mark, so ang gagawin natin ay add another question and then choose check boxes. And then dito sa question type or question box, ilalagay na natin yung themes. Example ng themes sa story ay love. Ayan. And then for the choices, let us use Likert scale or 4-point Likert scale and avoid the use of undecided or neutral para hindi siya debatable. So gusto kong malaman kung gaano nila gusto yung mga themes na i-represent ko. So, I will use descriptions like dislike, like, moderately like, and very much like. Okay, ilalagay ko dito sa aking option 1 yung mga descriptions or mga pagpipilian nila. Very much like. Then, add another option. For option 2, like. For option 3 is moderately like. And for the last option is dislike. Ayan, so meron na tayong first question para sa ating respondents. And then we are going to make it required. We can also use linear scales. This is to let people select a number in a range. Linear scale let you set a scale from a 0 or 1 to 2 to 10 with labels for lowest and the highest options. But the thing is, only the lowest and the highest options have descriptions or labels in it. Let us try. 1 being the lowest scale, we are going to put description of it, which is dislike. And for the highest, since we are going to use the 4-point Likert scale, very much like. As you can see, only the lowest and the highest labels are displayed using the linear scale. So I prefer to use checkboxes. So I suggest that you must use checkboxes or multiple choices so that the respondents can see other descriptions or labels. Then for the next theme, mag-add question ulit tayo. Then sa question box, ilalagay ulit natin yung pangalawang theme na palagay natin ay makaka-relate sila. Example is humor. And then checkboxes again. Then, ilalagay ulit natin yung mga descriptions or the 4-point Likert scale. Pipilian nila. First option, very much like. Add another option. Like. Then, moderately like and dislike. Ayan, so meron na tayong pangalawang question and then required. Huwag kakalimutan i-click yung required. And if we want to add more question, just keep on clicking add questions icon or feature. Okay, so for the next question ng aking questionnaire, halimbawa gusto kong malaman yung positive effects ng literary appreciation or yung possible positive effects of literary appreciation sa kanila. So ang ilalagay ko ay next section again kasi panibagong question na ito. Positive effects of literary appreciation or positive effects of reading. And then sa description box, I'm just going to copy what I have encoded in this part. Ayan, and then add question again. Sa question box, dito na natin ilalagay yung possible positive effects of literary appreciation. Like for example is this one. It is pleasurable or entertaining to read literature. And then I want to know their level of agreement. So gagamit ulit tayo ng 4-point Likert scale. So ang gagamitin naman na nating description ngayon, since I'm asking for their level of agreement, gagamit tayo ng strongly agree, agree, disagree, or strongly disagree. Yun ang ilalagay natin sa ating options. Strongly agree. Your second option, agree. So, makikita nyo, meron na tayong suggestion dito. I-add all na lang natin siya. And then, remove the neutral para hindi siya maging debatable. If you are looking for a save button, don't worry because this one is automatically saving. Nagsisave na siya habang nag-type kayo ng questions. Okay? Next is to make it required again. The next is to add another question or another possible positive effects of literary appreciation. Okay, number 2 example ito. I am able to learn new words from reading literature. Then check box ulit. Ayan, so for options, yung kanina, level of agreement. Type lang natin is strongly agree. And then lalabas yung suggestion. Ayan. Add all and remove neutral. Make it required again. Huwag niyong kakalimutang i-click yung required button so that you will not find difficulty in computing as well as in interpreting the results of your study. So, kunwari meron na akong 5 na possible positive effects dyan. Next thing is I want to know the negative effects naman ng literary appreciation. So, I will add another section because this one is another question. Negative effects of literary appreciation. And then, I will put the instruction and then add question. So here, in this question box, I will put the possible negative effects of literary appreciation. Halimbawa, I think that some literary works promote hatred and violence. Lalo na yung mga literature or stories or novels na may kinalaman sa violence or hatred or war. No? Then, check boxes again. And then, I will add the option. Ayan, lumalabas na yung ating suggestions. Add all na lang. And then, remove neutral. Make it required. Okay, so next is add question again for the next possible negative effects of literary appreciation. Example, some literary works make me daydream, which in turn affects my capacity to accomplish things. Oo nga naman, kapag mahaba yung binabasa mong novel or story, there might be a tendency na ayaw mo nang gawin yung mga activities mo, yung mga assignments mo, yung mga performance tasks mo kasi ayaw mong mabitin sa binabasa mo and ayaw mong ma-interrupt yung imagination mo or yung pagdi-daydream mo. So, as you can see, lumabas na yung suggestion. I-add all na lang natin siya and then remove neutral. Click required. So, halimbawa, meron na tayong 5 questions dito sa negative effects of literary appreciation. Now, we are going to add another section. So, in section 5, this will be the last section na ng aking online survey questionnaire. So, ang ilalagay ko dito ay the techniques that are helpful in developing literary appreciation. Ayan. Techniques that are helpful in developing literary appreciation. And then, copy ulit yung aking instruction. And then add question. So the first technique would be this one. Reading helps me appreciate and understand literature. So for the choices, gagamit ako ng degree of recommendation. Gusto ko malaman kung highly recommended ba tong technique na to or just less recommended. So gagamit ako ng degree of recommendation or level of recommendation. For first choice is highly recommended. And then add another option for the next choice, which is recommended. And then another option again for moderately recommended. And for the last one is less recommended. And then click required. For the next technique that will be helpful in developing literary appreciation, mag-a-add tayo ng question. Okay, example, ito yung ating second technique. I find it helpful when my teacher relates his or her experiences to the story. And then gusto ko ulit malaman if they will highly recommend this, recommend, moderately recommended, or just less recommended. Then add another option, moderately recommended, then less recommended. Then click required. Ayan, so again, you don't need to look for a save button because this is automatically saving in your drive. Let's assume that I'm already finished encoding or typing my questions. The next thing to do, so pupunta tayo dito sa setting. So as you can see, meron tayong collect email addresses. If you are going to check this one, you are requiring your respondents to send their email. Pwede din namang i-uncheck nyo yan. And then requires sign in, ilimit lang natin sa isang response. This will be helpful if you don't want them to send many responses. Pwede din natin silang i-allow na i-edit yung kanilang responses after submission. For see summary charts and text responses, wag na natin tong i-check. The next is a presentation. You can click show progress bar. Clicking progress bar is letting them know na malapit na silang matapos or matagal pa or malayo pa or marami pa silang questions na dapat sagutan. Ayan. You don't need to shuffle the questions. And then for confirmation messages, pag nasubmit na nila yung kanilang responses, ito yung lalabas. Your response has been recorded. But you can also customize this one. Like, your response has been recorded. Thank you. Ayan. So, as simple as that. So, meron ka ng online survey questionnaire form. Ngayon, kung gusto mong lagyan ng header, sinasabi ko kanina na pwede nating lagyan ng header, we can just click the themes or customize themes. And then, choose header from the themes na nandito sa section na to. So, since I'm dealing with literary appreciation, it has something to do with reading, gagamitin ko na lang itong header na ito. And then, just click insert. And then, meron na tayong header para sa ating Google Form. Ayan. And then, dito sa more options, dito sa 3 dots, meron tayong undo, make a copy, move to bin, get pre-filled ink, pwede nating i-print, pwede tayong mag-add ng collaborators, script editor, add-ons, and preferences. So, I suggest that you must add collaborators. Pag nag-add tayo ng collaborators, ito yung lalabas. So, ibig sabihin, you can add the Gmail account of your members. Adding collaborators is just like adding a person who can monitor the responses or the results in this survey form. Ayan. So, ngayon, since ready na yung ating survey questionnaire, we are going to send it to our respondents. Just click the send button and then makikita nyo yung mga ways kung paano nyo siya maisisend sa mga respondents. Pwedeng via email. You are just going to simply type the email of your respondents here. Pwede din naman itong madaling paraan ay pagsisend ng link. You can also shorten the URL. You will be having a unique link that you can send to your respondents. And then just copy it. And then click Facebook, or if you are going to share it via Facebook or sa Messenger, pwede din. So, let's assume na na-send ko na sa aking respondents. Ika-copy lang yung link and then ipipaste sa Messenger ng inyong respondents. Kung Messenger ang gagamitin ninyo, it's up to you. Ayan. So, if you want to see the responses or the result of your survey, just click responses. Ayan. So, since bagong gawa ko lang to, 0 responses pa siya. So, pupunta tayo dito sa aking drive kasi may nagawa na ako before. Titignan na lang natin yung responses dito sa aking previously created form. Here's the summary, the question, and then individual. Ayan. Kikita ninyo mga names. May Cordapia, Mean, and Pamela Colcol. And then for ages, as you can see, meron ng counts dito. May counting siya. And then, naka-percentage na rin siya. For gender, merong 3 responses and 100% female. So, you can just copy the chart by clicking this button, copy chart. Ika-copy nyo lang siya and then you can paste it to your Word or to your document. And then, for the themes that they can relate to the most, sa love, merong isang nag-dislike, meron namang isang nag-like, and merong isang nag-very much like. Ayan. So, makikita nyo na dito yung summary ng inyong results. You can easily interpret the results because you have the graph as well as the counts para madali nyo siyang i-compute. Ayan. So, pwede din dito kung gusto ninyong tignan per question, kung ilan ang nag-response, i-click nyo lang yung question. For individual naman, kung gusto ninyong malaman kung ano yung sagot ni Mean, just click individual. Ayan. And then, you can also click accepting responses. Like for example, tapos na kayong mag-gather ng responses from your respondents, i-click nyo lang ito para hindi na kayo makapag-accept ng responses kapag tapos na kayong mag-gather ng data. Okay, so we are already done with this tutorial. You can now create your own questionnaire in Google Forms. Thank you for watching my video and I hope you learned something today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Goodbye!